So, I'm in this hospital. Figured I'd do a video documentary just to get my thoughts out. Because, one, there's a lot of people that I know who care about me. And, to talk to everybody about what's been on my mind and the experience I've been having. I ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But it's gonna be emotional. But it's all good. It's all good. I just want to put out on video that some experiences I've had and some revelation I've had. I feel like I've always got a story to tell. But the stories, I always like to analyze the stories. I always like to analyze my experience, right? So if I go through something, physical or emotional, I do tend to try to seek the lesson in it. What can I get out of it that makes me smarter, prepared, helpful, right? Because sometimes our experiences can help other people. So just got off the phone with my neighbor friend, and I wasn't expecting to share so much, but hey, she was the first one to call. So she got it. I laid it on. And that's who I am anyway, y'all. I mean, you know, I'm pretty translucent. I try to show people who I am. I try not to hide too much. If you ask me, I'll give you an answer. I might try to, if it's a harsh truth, I will try to smooth the truth out for you, just so I won't hurt your feelings. Or sometimes if it has to be said the way it needs to be said for a point to get across, then I will say that too. I will say it how it needs to be said sometimes. But anyway, why am I in the hospital? Okay, so a lot of people know I have AFib, atrial fibrillation. I really don't know. It was diagnosed a few years ago. As a few of you all know, I had went through years ago when I had Bryce. Actually, I went through a malpractice lawsuit for a doctor leaving a laparotomy towel in me when I had my son. And I was in Oklahoma at the time, and that whole process of having to go through all the legalities and everything, emotional, physical, just everything. This is not what this video is about. It took 5 years for it to even go to court. And even though the doctor was, malfeasant, whatever, the jury felt that she had more to lose than I did, so they sided with her. And a lot of issues behind that. But that broke my heart. I honestly think that broke my heart because my son is 14. He's almost 15 now. And I can honestly say that after that incident, after that experience, um, um, just things just started kind of going downhill with me, health wise. And I mean, I think, maybe somebody can be so emotionally hurt that their heart breaks, you know? So maybe that's when the fluttering started, you know? It started just like, just feeling, I could be driving and then I just kind of feel lightheaded, woozy, you know? And so I started going to the doctor about it or whatnot, and it wasn't diagnosed with as AFib until I can't remember. It was before I came here to Japan. Okay, before I came here to Japan, maybe a year or two before I came to Japan. But it was kind of like acute. It would just come and go, come and go. But since I came here to Japan, it's become chronic. So it happens. It's just an everyday thing now. Everyday thing. So anyway, there was 2 procedures that you can do. You can do a cardio ablation, or you could do a cardio shock. So where they could do the shock, they could shock your heart and shock it back into a normal rhythm. So AFib is atrial fibrillation, where the chambers of your heart, they instead of pumping in a timed pattern, you have a chamber that pumps and the other one quivers. Pump, quiver. And the danger is the quivering, if it doesn't eject the blood up into your atrium properly, then there's risk of clots that could form, and then when it does push it up, you could get a stroke, brain aneurysms, whatever, stroke. And so when I got here, I was I literally had a TIA, y'all. I had a mini, like, it's like a little mini stroke, but it's a TIA. So they put me on the blood thinners, because that's what you have to be on for the rest of your life, blood thinners, to thin the blood so that it won't clot, and so you reduce the risk of getting a stroke. So the other procedure is a cardio ablation to help to be a more permanent result of stopping AFib. And a cardio ablation is when they go into the heart and they burn a nerve that causes the fibrillation. So it's like they're burning nerves to help the timing be better. You all Google it, okay? So my medical jargon is not that great, but I understand what had to happen. So they take a little wire, like catheter or whatever. They go up through your artery in your leg, doo, get to your heart, boop, puncture the heart, find a little spot, tss, and then bring it on out. So that's the procedure that I had. And I will say, it's been an emotional time for me, very emotional time for me, but revelation too, because even though I was nervous, just about the whole idea about the heart, right? My heart is failing. My heart's failing. Wow, what? um, everybody's heart's going to fail one day. And that's the thing, one day all of our hearts will stop. So what do we do with our time? Well, how do we use our hearts while we're here? Tomorrow's not promised, So it's all about love, y'all. What do you do with your heart while it's beating? You love one another. That's really it. And I tell my kids, we have two forms. We have our physical self and we have our spiritual self. And we have to take care of both of them. We have to take care of the physical self and do the work that's supposed to be done here in the physical form on earth. But we have to prepare and protect ourselves while we're here. We want the longevity, of physical longevity here, right? We also have to prepare that spirit for the end game, heaven or hell. We have to prepare the spirit too, And this physical thing is just temporary. I don't care if you live to 100. That's 100 temporary. That's 100 years here and gone. I'm almost 50. Almost. I'm not 50 yet. Almost 50. And it feels like 50, just rolled up, creeped up, honey. And about to do a drive-by, Rolled up, creeped up, about to do a drive-by. Regardless, listen, if I'm ready or not, right? Regardless if I ain't got my shoes on or my laces tied, they about to 50 about to roll up and ride out. But so we gotta be ready. But as far as like our spiritual, the end game in that is heaven or hell. And how do we prepare the spirit? And it goes back to the heart. What's in our heart? What's in our heart? If love is not in you, God is not in you. God is love. So if love is not in you, then where is God? So I'm here to say I'm full of love, y'all. I'm full of it. Shit, the doctor even told me my heart might be a little big. I have a big heart. Literally. But anyway, this procedure, y'all, doc said it went well. It went well. Hopefully I don't have to have 2 or 3. He was saying at the beginning, because my situation is chronic, I could need 2 or 3 procedures. But the truth is, I'm claiming this one, and I've given everything up to God. At this point, I've given everything over to God. All I can do is just try to nurture my heart, nurture my capsule, this capsule that I'm in. Whatever I can do, working on 45 pounds to get down. I'm gonna work at that. Not gonna push myself so hard, but I'm gonna work at it. It took me 20 years to pick up these pounds, and I hope it only take 5 months to get it off. But 5 or 6 months, I'm just gonna work to put myself in a better physical condition, you know? But I'm at this place where it is what it is. It is what it is, you know? But, it was scary. Scary to think about our mortality. Scary to think about, like, our mortality, because this is all we know. All we know is our physical, what we touch, and, you know, we tend to put the spiritual off, because we don't see our spirits, and we don't touch and feel our spirits. You know, if we get hurt and get bruised, that's what we see. You know, but we ain't looking at, we don't look at heaven and hell and see it in front of us every day. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I believe it exists. But because that's not in our face every day and we can't touch it, we tend to put a lot of things off. And, you know, you can't keep putting it off. So, my experience here. I have to put this on because, this little thing keeping monitoring me. Excuse my hair. Yes, I did bring a flat iron, honey, to the hospital. Honey, it's still poofed out. I flat iron my hair, and then I get up to go use the restroom down the hall. I come back, I done blew my hair out. I mean, just poof. And I had just flat ironed it. So I'm just like, bump it, and brush it back, pull a bang out. So, oh, oh my goodness. And shout out to so many people who are suffering from this COVID. I found out that my friend from middle school, elementary, middle school, her father passed away. No, listen, it hurt me so bad. It hurt me so bad. Because I guess the only means of communication she had was like WhatsApp. And she sent me a WhatsApp to let me know on the day that he passed away. And do y'all know that I hadn't been dealing with WhatsApp in I don't know how long. And I go to click on it when I emailed her for her birthday. I'm making a funny email about her birthday and 50 creeping up the driveway. And I'm, laughing, wishing her happy birthday. And she responds back to the email saying, thank you for remembering, but I sent you a WhatsApp message just to tell you that my father passed away. And I'm like, I go to WhatsApp, and there's a message on WhatsApp that says, this has been, it needs to be updated. So I push update, I go to apps and push the update, and then boom, there go her message. It pops up on the day that her father passed away. Okay. I was just speechless. Literally, my stomach hurt. I mean, I can't even believe that happened, and I wasn't able to be there, truly be there for my friend in her time of need. And I'm just so sorry about that. That's just tough. Love you, Shay. I love you, girl. So, I get here, and, he passed due to COVID, y'all. COVID complications. So, I get here to this hospital, you know, I'm dealing with the staff, whatever, the nurses. And I was already nervous with the news that the doctor shared with me about, possibly needing 2 or 3 of these surgeries, because I was like, he hadn't mentioned that before. He was just saying, I should be able to get a cardioablation and boom, one and done. But then pop up and have a conference, before talking about maybe 2 or 3. I guess an hour before the surgery, it was just disappointing, discouraging, okay? But that this possibly could work. One could work, so that's what I'm praying for. That, it's a one and done. But, so, get to the surgery. And, everybody's hands is on me. Everybody's hands is on me. Everybody. Because, they got a job to do. They got a job to do. But, if you guys have ever been in surgery, whatever, they taking your clothes off. They, doing all types of stuff, to get you prepped on that table. So, needless to say, that made me uncomfortable. I mean, all types of stuff is just exposed, honey. Ain't nothing a mystery no more. Okay, ain't nothing a mystery. So, that made me uncomfortable. And then, just the pulling. Everybody was trying to do what they were supposed to do, but everybody was trying to do it at the same time. So, literally, I had somebody trying to undo my clothes. Somebody trying to pull on my IVs. I mean, just yanking, like pulling. I yelled out, ow! One lady had my arm back here with the IVs in it, trying to do her thing. One dude was to my left, one dude was to my right, one tit to the left, one tit to dude pushing me forward, I'm being pushed forward, he putting patches on my back. The other dude trying to put panels on the front of me. All the while they put a towel over me, but they just flipping the towel up anyway, like the towel is covering anything. I mean, just no modesty at all. No modesty. And then it's like they going for my pants. They go, these are my jammies, but they give you the hospital jammies. So they going for the hospital jammies. They're pulling the jammies off of me, pulling the underwear off, and I mean, just exposed, honey, exposed. Prepping the leg, I had to, just as a woman, as a patient, take it. That bothered me. I'm not used to just men staring at me. And it ain't a lot of, sometimes I think other cultures be curious too. And so they look a little harder. And I'm just going to leave it right there. They look harder. They want to see. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And they're doing their jobs. They're not worried about, a boob here and a boob there. There's, it was just no gentleness about it. It was just literally picking at me, pushing and prodding, and just no care, really. They were just doing their jobs. So anyway, I hope if you are a healthcare nurse or whatever, thank you for your service, but damn, be gentle. And care, understand that people aren't used to this. They're already nervous going into a damn surgery, and just have a modicum of care in how you touch people, and how you touch people, physically touch people. So, busting vessels, trying to put an IV in, digging into my arm, putting an IV in. I already have small veins. Listen, I'm not an easy stick. So, but the experts can do it quickly and have some sense of gentleness about it. But here, oh my goodness, I was in literal tears. Just one nurse trying to jam an IV in my arm. That was so big. It was just so big. But then the other IV wasn't as big, and I didn't understand that. But anyway, that's extra on the experience that I've had here. I get out of the surgery, and I have a complete cry breakdown. A complete cry breakdown after the surgery. Coming out of just being put out, I don't know. I know it was a spiritual attack on me. I know it was. I know it was. I know it was. So I come out of the surgery, and I probably scared my husband. I'm sorry, baby. I love you. I come out of surgery, and I recall the ladies are they're waking me up, but it's kind of like, no, wake up, like I said, no gentleness, just jab, and they talk softly, oh, go mini side when they hurt you or whatever, but the touch is not gentle. The touch is not gentle. It's and maybe, I don't know, maybe because they got tiny hands, and every time they touch you, it feels like bones touching you. I don't know. I don't know. But just I recall being, wake up, but it's broken English, wake up, in Japanese or whatever. And I'm kind of like coming out of it, and then I just start crying while they're wheeling me back up to my room. I can't stop crying. So they're asking me what's wrong, and my husband then comes, and he's with me, but I'm kind of like closing my eyes, open my eyes, kind of in and out, but it's like I had this rush of emotion. This, not only emotion, y'all, this rush of thoughts. Just this this rush of thoughts, and it was like whoosh. It was so much that it couldn't get through. It couldn't fit through this small hole. It was like so many thoughts that I couldn't even y'all, I couldn't talk. I couldn't speak. All I could do was cry. And the nurse was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" Lloyd kept asking me, "What's wrong?" And all I could do was stare at the ceiling, because I couldn't articulate the one thought. And I said, "I'm sad. I'm sad." And that's all I could say, is that I was sad. But, so what I'm going to share with you all, and this is for me too. I don't even know if I'm going to post it. But if I do, whatever your response is, you may not get a reply back to me, okay? Because I don't know if you can relate. If you want to send me a prayer or shout out, I appreciate it. But I will not be responding back about this video. I'll just read, maybe. The flood of thoughts. The flood of thoughts was every failure I've had in my life. Every failure. Every failure. And the emotion of that. Like, like if you lose someone, and or maybe you hurt, I mean, I have so many guys. Listen, if I articulate one, there's probably 1,000 behind that, and that's what it felt like. I could not even talk about one of them. So this video is not about me sharing all my failures. The video is sharing what I went through, and that I felt like it was a spiritual attack. I think it was. I confirmed it the next day, because I was alone here at the hospital in my moment of silence. Because when you go through something, just the surgery, like I said, any experience that I go through, I just try to reflect on it. But in that moment, I could not speak. The pain, the discouragement, the disappointment, every example that every emotion you can tie into a failure and what it feels like, or not, or having your heart broken, right? Every single emotion or word that you can use to describe what you felt like at any and every failure of something or loss. That was the flood of emotion I was feeling, and all I could do was cry about it. And finally, after I don't know how long, I think my husband asked me what it was, and I just shouted that I'm a failure. Yeah. And that's what the devil wanted me to know coming out of surgery. That's what he wanted me to know about myself. And it touched me, y'all. It touched me. So truth and fact, right? How did my neighbor friend asked me, she says, well, oh my gosh, I know how you, I've experienced that before. I know how you feel. I feel like I know how you feel. She was like, what did you do? How did you talk yourself out of that? What did you do? It wasn't until my husband had to leave. He sat with me for a while, for a few hours. And when everybody left, I just rested. I slept. I didn't even know how to pray because all I could do was go back and confirm all these failures. You're right, because they exist. It's not like they didn't exist. They happen. Failures happen in life, right? So it's not like they're not real. It's not like, I was lied to about failing. What I was lied to about is that I am a failure. But I'm not. I'm a child of God. But anyway, how did I get out of that? I mean, I'm still kind of feeling it because it touched me. Like as I even talk about it, I get emotional because it was so surreal. And it was like pummeling, a pummeling of my identity, of how I think about myself. It was a pummeling. But, so I prayed. I went online trying to find stories of testimonies, people's testimonies, My friend sent me a beautiful song. My sister sent me a beautiful song. And I found this 25-year-old's testimony online on YouTube. And young black guy in Atlanta had an experience where he went to hell and heaven. He experienced what he felt was hell and heaven. And his dad happened to be trying to drive him to a hospital when he was really sick. I mean, sick. He had like 106 temperature, 106. And he basically started kind of probably going delirious, but he kind of went out as the dad's trying to take him to the hospital. And in the car, while the dad was trying to take him to the hospital, the young man's fiance wanted to call and talk to him. Well, the dad knew that the fiance was God-fearing woman, and he wanted to put her on the phone with him while he's driving. And he said as soon as he heard her voice, something started speaking out of him. And, the voice said, I'm going to kill you. And the father knew at that moment he's being spiritual attacked. Like, this is not even my son. And at that moment, he laid hands on him. He laid hands on him. And he proclaimed that this was a child of God and that he has a calling on his life. He spoke prophetic words over his son while he's driving the car. And he claimed Jesus over his life, and his son, boom, went out. And then that's where the son picks up the story that he actually exited his body and he could see above the car. He could see his dad in the car and he could see himself in the car and he saw his dad driving. He could tell him everywhere his dad was going. And then his story goes on. You all, find it, check it out. 25-year-old testimony of heaven and hell. But when he described when he went out, he said he I guess when his dad was hearing this voice come out, he said at that point he saw himself dropping, like dropping from his eyes, and he described it as the sunken place. The sunken place. He says the sunken place is real. It was like I could see what was going on, but he was falling away from the image until he went and landed in hell. And then he explains the heaven part also. And y'all, when he